Yes. So welcome to our today's session, students. In our previous session, we had seen what is internal rate of return, right? Though NP is more scientific and it is more calculated scientifically. Few managers or few of these financial people find it uh, I mean, they find internal rate of return to be a superior method of capital budgeting when compared to NPV, right? So, since we have so many hurdles in calculating the internal rate of return, that is, you actually do, you calculate the internal rate of return using the trial and error method of calculating, right? You don't have a scientific way. So there is a conception that net present value is a better and is considered to be a superior over internal rate of return. But however, few of the managers or financialists feel that it is IRR is more intuitive and it is more appealing as it is measured in a percentage, right? Internal rate of return is basically measured as a percentage, and if you ask what is the internal rate of return of my laptop, I'll be able to mention it in a percentage form, which becomes very easy to compare to our more projects. For example, if I have a HP laptop, I have a Lenovo laptop, I can compare what are the internal rate of returns of each one of the laptop and arrive at my decision whether to purchase it or not to purchase it, or if I've already purchased, what is the profitability or which is more profitable and which is more beneficial. So we have come up with something called as modified internal rate of return. This is actually something related to your internal rate of return. However, it has overcome the disadvantages of calculation of internal rate of return. Procedure. There are three simple steps in calculating modified internal rate of return. First is you need to calculate the present value of costs which are associated with the project using cost of capital as discount rate. Generally or usually when you talk about the present value of cash outlay, it would be the cost what you have in what you have spent itself. For example, today if I'm spending 3 lakh rupees, that itself will become my present value of cash outlay. Calculate the terminal value of cash inflows expected from the project. You need to calculate the present value of the cash inflows whatever you will be earning. You have to compound it to a certain date, that will be the terminal date. For example, if the project goes on for 5 years, compound each and every cash inflow to the end date, that is after 3 years. The last step is using this formula, that is present value of cash outlay is equal to terminal value divided by 1 plus MIRR. Whatever you had calculated in step 1 and step 2, you will be using here and calculating the MIRR. So I have taken this illustration. So if you look at here, they say the cash flows are as under. For 0 year, you are having a cash outlay of 120. Minus 120 means that there is a capital expenditure. Year 1 it is minus 80, year 2 it is 20. From year 2 to year 6 you are having positive cash flows. That means that you are having cash inflow. So year 0 and year 1, you are discounting the cash outflows to 0, year 0. From 2 to 6, that is, those are the cash inflows. You need to compound it to the 6th year, the terminal year or the end year. The project life is 6 years, so you need to bring it to 6 years and then discount that to this thing. We'll see how it actually works. Right. First step is we'll calculate present value of cash outlays, right? 120 remains as it is, so we don't have to do that. PVC of year 1, cash outlay out cash flow is 80 divided by year 1.15 to the power of 1. Right, we'll calculate how, we'll see what's the amount. Plus 120. Now, the second step is that you need to calculate the TV, the terminal value of cash flows. That is, you need to compound each and everything to the sixth year. So the terminal value of cash flows is very simple. So here you are having a cash inflow, right? 20 into 1.15 to the power of how many years are left for the end of the project. From now on, how many years does it take for the project to get closed or a particular instrument or an equipment or a machinery to get discarded? 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? To the power of 4 plus go to the next year. After 20 it is 60. 60 into 1.15 to the power of 3 plus next year 80 into 1.15 to the power of 2 plus 100 into 1.15 to the power of 1 plus 120. Right. I'll enter the entire data at once. Let's see if we can get the right answer. Okay, it's not happening. Right. Next step, let's further solve it. 20 into 1.75, 35, right? Plus 60 into 1.52, 91.2, 80 into 1.32, 105.6, plus 115 plus 120, which comes up to 466. Now we'll take it as 467 rounding off, right? So now let's try to solve this problem, I mean this equation. So present value of cash outflow is 189.56 is equal to, what is your TV? TV is 467 divided by, sorry, 1 plus MIRR whole to the power of 6, right? If we solve this equation, you'll arrive at MIRR is equal to 16.2%. Please try to solve this equation. That's very simple. If you guys don't understand how I solve the equation, please let me know. So this is about your modified internal rate of return. Right. So we have seen almost, I think I've covered all the capital budgeting or capital budgeting techniques. So in case you guys have any issues or any queries, please let me know. Also, I'll be sharing a question bank for the same. Please solve it as an assignment and send it over to me by email. I'll just send out an email regarding that. And yeah, when it comes to MIRR also it is similar. You need to accept the project which has got more modified internal rate of return, and in case modified internal rate of return is less than your cost of capital, I think you can reject the proposal, right? So that's about our today's session.